So today I wanted to bridge a very direct non-duality teaching with how to apply the knowledge of that teaching into your relative life. So essentially, if I focus on what I am, right? Consciousness, what is looking out of my eyes, I am the subject and not the object. So if I'm in this world, in this simulation with a mind, a body, emotional body, and an environment, whatever happens in my life, I am the subject. I am the unlimited consciousness. I am not the body pain. I am not the emotion. I am not the thoughts, and I am not the environment. So how do you bridge that gnosis into your relative life so that your relative life is touched by this light, by you, essentially? So you want to somatically focus on the fact that you are the subject, right? If you focus on what you are, which is essentially a shining unlimited consciousness, and right, it's really helpful to use the phrase thank you throughout your day, thanking not only things that you're grateful for, but thanking things that you resist, so that you can access and resonate with the consciousness of your true nature in a situation where your mind is usually reactive, right? So that's a bridge tool before you're just constantly aware of yourself as the subject. So let me give you practical examples. Let's say you're worried about money. So first of all, when it comes to money, the energetics of money is very simple. If you had 100,000 thoughts about money per day, let's say, and 51% or more of your thoughts about money were negative, worry, every time you spend it, you get afraid, feeling tight, feeling your mind trying to control money, trying to, tighten its grip on a budget. Okay, as soon as you change the balance to 51% joy, you will experience more money coming into your life. Literally, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And so there's a trick to that, which is like, every time you see money, a coin, every time you spend money, like feel extremely grateful and excited, almost as if money was a person that you want to thank for being in your life instead of something that you are afraid of, right? I mean, every time you see coins in your house, like bless them, thank you, thank you. You're building a positive association with money in times where it's easy for you to do it. Thinking about money with the energy of happiness and joy and celebration will start to tilt the average of your thoughts towards happy money, right? Towards associating money with something that you truly desire and that you're allowing into your life. So, but back to the non-duality teaching. If I'm worried about money in a moment, if I instantaneously tell myself, I am the subject, I'm not the object, I'm not this worry, I'm not. And by the way, this is not the same thing as observing your mind and saying, I am not this. It's not the same thing. Feel the difference between disidentifying from your mind and saying, that's not me, that's not me. That's actually something that the ego does. Neti, right? This is not me, this is not me, this is not me. This is different. What am I? So if I'm worried about money, I'm swiping my card at a store and my ego starts to, worry about money. If in that moment I remember, I tap into the fact that I'm the subject here. I'm not the object. Not disidentifying from the worry, but saying, no, I am the unlimited consciousness. I am this unlimited consciousness. I am the subject, not the object. So There's a big difference between those two things. One feels like a shining radiance and one feels like a withdrawal. So another practical example, let's say you have a body condition. I already explained that if you bless and think what you resist, what your mind resists, what your ego resists, that's a doorway to your soul that is always happy. We're not trying to change our ego to try to be happy. We're tapping into a part of ourselves that's already happy, already whole, already complete, already abundant, already all those things. And I'm just explaining to you another cue to help you access this. I am the subject. I am what is looking out into this world, not the world itself. So you have body pain, and one way to embrace what you're experiencing is to thank it sincerely. That opens your heart. That's a doorway to the soul. And then again, another way to access and resonate with the consciousness of your creator is to say, no, I am the subject. The subject is perfect wholeness. The subject is perfection, right? So if you were to tell yourself, I'm the subject, I'm not the object, I'm the subject, you immediately resonate with this truth, and who knows, your body pain might instantaneously disappear. That's happened to me so many times. But at the very least, you compassionately and completely accept the moment, because it doesn't matter what the moment is. It matters on the consciousness that you are infusing into the moment. So I'm basically teaching you how to infuse your unlimited consciousness into this moment. But as a baseline, remember, I mean, this is not a philosophy or a technique. This is just the truth. You are unlimited consciousness. That's what you are. That's what's looking out of your eyes. It's already happy. It's already whole. It's already joyful. So anything that you can do with your mind, somatically, like feeling your heart, puts you in touch with that truth that's already true. So I love, I think it's so interesting that the month of Virgo is a very powerful time to implement repetitive actions that repattern our lives, right? And this is a repetitive thing that you can do besides thanking what you resist, and not even only doing it in a situation where your ego gets tight and where you're reactive, but just all day long. I am the subject. I am. That is literally, when you put your attention on what you are, you literally feel a radiance coming from you and shining outward. And that is inherently complete, joyful, and perfect. But to have it touch your life, have it touch the ego, right? We're not trying to change the ego with a technique. That's like the ego trying to change itself. You don't want to try to convince yourself to be happy when you're not happy. If the ego is if you're feeling depression, if I'm the subject and I am unlimited love, right? Then I embrace that feeling of depression completely. It's who am I being in response to the objects that I'm experiencing, right? So that could mean total acceptance and compassion. That could mean appreciation and gratitude. That could mean, this is another really practical example. It's really useful to find your emotional identity, right? Like excuses that you find to feel a certain way, like feeling offended or feeling betrayed or feeling like you can't trust someone. So if you have the perception in you as part of your karma that you can't trust anyone, or maybe you have jealousy as part of your karma, you will attract people in your life that will trigger that feeling, and you'll keep them in your life if you insist on, you literally need that person to keep your emotional identity alive. Or in the moment where you feel jealousy or you feel betrayed by someone, remember, I'm the subject, not the object. Wait, I'm unlimited loving consciousness. In that moment where you're feeling your emotional identity, you tell yourself who you really are, but you say it as a declaration, as a sincere declaration, and therefore you actually feel it. It's not just something that you say. So this is so practical. It's like how to bring the essential truth into your relative life. Doing whatever you can, whatever intuitively occurs to you. Maybe you'll think of cues and ways to help you resonate with the perspective of your source in every situation. And that is not denial of emotions. That's not denial. You know, there's a time in life where consciousness is ensnared in the astral body, right? It's ensnared, meaning we're going to go through really intense waves of feelings, and we're going to have to learn how to be totally present with them and have compassion and let them pass. But then there's like another level of the inner work where it's like, but we also have to recognize where we are recreating these things, right? So if I know that I tend to have the experience of feeling jealousy or feeling like I can't trust someone, instead of being present with it over and over again, I have to rewire my brain and say, wait a minute, this is not who I am. It's more important for you that you do that in a moment, that you behave and feel as your unlimited self, than that you move your life around, that you get rid of that toxic ex, all of the actions that you need to take will occur naturally when you replace your reactivity with your true self, period. So I hope this was helpful. It's a really powerful time to implement things right now. It always is, but Virgo does have a certain leverage about it because the energy of Virgo is about thoroughness and details and crossing T's and dotting I's and being thorough. So implement this throughout your day. Every time that you're reactive in your mind and your emotions, every time you feel yourself looking for a reason to feel bad, immediately remember who you are. Immediately remember who you are, and all the situations that need to be your mirror, right, to reflect back to what your emotional addictions are and your karma will literally disappear. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful day.